our immune system is suppressed and the defense system become weaker. We got sickness, got disease of invasion. So the other property, advantage of chewing slowly, because when we hungry or when we thirsty, like we explained yesterday, we hungry both physical and mentally. If we chew not careful and we swallow, the food doesn't have enough time to touch to the bud on our tongue and our nose, so it don't have enough time to send the feedback to the central nervous system to tell them, I already received enough food. And then the stomach full, has to working hard, but cannot digest, cannot absorb much, and the mind still hungry, and they require to eat more and eat more. The more we eat, the more the stomach has to work to digest, but cannot absorb much, and it has to be eliminated. So waste of time for digestion and elimination, but not much absorption. Another activity of choosing carefully and slowly, because on our cheek, our face, we have almost 400 different muscles, and they say one smile make you become younger. Can be the medication for treatment of your anxiety, stressful. When we chew it slowly, it makes all the muscles in our face relax, and it stimulates more and more enzyme, more and more substance to make our skin, make our body become younger. It refresh, it rebuild faster, eliminate all the blockage, all the toxin faster. So it helps our immune system to be stronger. It helps our central nervous system become more relaxed, more calm, more patient. And at the same time, you see we have the gland next to our ear. When we chew carefully in our muscle in our cheek, can be stimulated. This gland will be stimulated. And this one connects to 3 different very important systems. First, to the central nervous system is the parasympathetic in front of the frontal lobe. It connects to the hypothalamus. It connects to the pituitary gland. That is a very tiny, like a kidney bean, but it is the headquarters, the top to conduct all the activity of all of the glands in our body. So by stimulating all of that, it makes our central nervous system, especially the parasympathetic, more relaxed. We feel more calm, more peaceful. And by stimulating the pituitary gland, it makes our brain become more aware, more alert. The wisdom and the insight become brighter. So during the time of eating, it's no different as during the time we are sitting in meditation. It makes our body totally relaxed. It makes our body feel calm, peaceful, joyful, elimination of all the toxin, all the blockage, and especially the higher level of physical and physiology. That means it can do the same thing like we are in deep concentration. The central nervous system will secrete the substance to heal the internal organ when it has any imbalance or abnormal or a wound internally. So by chewing carefully, slowly, we have a lot of benefit, and not really different as we are sitting in meditation. So that's why we need to eat slowly, chew carefully, and we should not eat full stomach, because that is the advice from the Buddha time. But now we see that is very clearly benefit, because when we eat full stomach, our stomach doesn't have a capacity to mix or to clean the food we eat, so it can contract and expand, contract and expand, twitching a little bit, not like the intestine, it move and it twitch, but the stomach, it can contract, expand, contract, expand only. That is the way to mix or to bring any substance not chewed carefully in our mouth. And then that is the way to mix the food, the nutrition, with the enzyme fluid, the digestive fluid. So make it break down, chop up the long or the complicated molecular into the small block for our body to use. So if we eat only 2/3 of our stomach, it still have an empty space. So when it contracts, it have a space to move around. So the digestive fluid have an opportunity to penetrate and mix evenly with the nutrition. So by that action, it will help for the digestion easier. It will help for the absorption, will extract the most nutrition as possible, and the elimination will be minimal. But when we eat full stomach, our stomach cannot contract, and the food we eat, we swallow down, cannot penetrate, cannot be mixed with the digestive fluid and other enzymes. So it makes difficult for the digestion, it makes difficult for the absorption, and our body has to eliminate a whole portion of the food. So it wastes of time, waste of energy, and we don't get much nutrition into our body. The other thing, when we eat only 2/3 of our stomach, for example, we have our body needs 2,000 kilocalories to work, to function a day. If we eat only 2/3 our stomach, that means we not provide 100% 2,000 kilocalorie energy. We only provide 1,500 or 1,700 only, right? So the rest 300 or 500 kilocalorie missing. Our body has to find out the way to compensate for that amount of energy to provide for our body to work. So where it goes to take, our body is very smart. It doesn't want to take the bad thing. It has to take the really best food first. If it doesn't have that capacity, and it will go lower and lower down standard. So the first thing it does, it goes around the GI tract and in the organ in the body to see any bacteria, any cell, old cell or abnormal cell. Take that one and recycle. faster and easier, because the food we eat outside, we bring from outside in, it has a totally different energy level, different frequency. But this one inside the body doesn't matter that is the bacteria or that is the old cell, the abnormal cell. But because it already stay in the body for a while, so now the energy level is almost the same, close to our body. So it makes it much easy for digestion and absorption. So it spends less energy, less time to work, but it have a more nutrition. So that's why our body likes doing that. That is one of the benefits why we apply that during the fasting for healing. Our body will go around, detect all the bacteria, all the old cells, all the abnormal cells. Use that one first. That's why during the fasting for healing, we don't want to provide any solid food from outside. It makes our body tired, more tired for digestion, for absorption, for elimination. And then it don't have capacity to go around to search, to take over all the bad substance in our body. So, and then after it finished that job, it had to go to upper level. Remember yesterday we talking about 4 kinds of nutriment. So the first one is the solid, right? The second one for the first 5 cent organ. So if after it finished clean up in the body, but it's still not enough 500 or 300 kilocalories. Now it goes to search for the nice sound, the nice image, or for the calmness, the peaceful state of the mind, and automatically it dry up the mental formation and the spiritual life. That's why in the old time, the Buddha not allowed the Buddha recommend for the Sangha, especially for the monastic, don't eat more than 2/3 of their stomach. And then they stay outdoor, meditate in the middle of the jungle, the forest, and in the outdoor environment. So the body will search for the higher energy level in the universe when we don't provide 100% of energy in the first level or the first group of nutriment. And finally, very important, and this is one of the main cause for obesity and sickness, because of the wrong proportion of our meal during the day. Most of the, you see, before the industrial time, the farmer, the people in the village, they have correct portion of the meal during the day. That means they eat breakfast kind of 30 to 40%, and then they have a lunch 50%. At dinner they have only 10 or 20% of the whole total meal for a day. If they follow that, whatever they eat, it will burn out and supply the energy right away for their body to work. For example, from 7 or from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock, right? Only 4 hours. That almost enough. And then from noon to about 5 to 6, longer time, they need more energy. So that's why we need to eat more. By the time when 6 o'clock, we go home, we have a dinner or supper around 6 or 7. We need only a little bit energy for 2 or 3 more hours, and we go to the bed. We don't work much at night. So all of the food digest, provide energy, so our body doesn't have to do extra work. And then we will learn about the circadian rhythm of the nature and the cleanse up circadian rhythm in our body for all of the organs. And we will see why it affects on the sickness, the illness, or the obesity nowadays. On the other hand, you see now most of the North America or the Westerners, they don't eat breakfast much, or sometimes they don't eat at all. And at lunchtime, they have only half an hour, 45 minutes or an hour maximum eat for lunch. So that's why they don't eat much at lunchtime. And when they go home for dinner, usually have a late dinner and a big dinner. So let's see what's going wrong here. We need energy to provide for our body to work. If we not eat, our body has to go into the storage, take it out, and reburn it. Right? The same thing at lunchtime. If we not eat enough, and then for 5 or 6 hours, again, our body has to go to the storage, take out the storage, and reburn it to provide energy for our body to work. So it wastes a lot of energy to go into storage, take it out, reburn during the daytime. So we waste energy for not good. But at the night time, our body not working much, but we have a big dinner and a late dinner. How long the food remain in our stomach? Minimum, if we have the soup, about 2 hours. If we have medium meal, 3 hours. And if we have a big or fasting meal, 4 hours. So when we finish the dinner around at 8 or 9 o'clock, it takes 3 hours minimum for the stomach to be empty. So it's at that time 11 o'clock already, or maybe midnight. By the time when it's finished, the digestion or nutrition, that is the time for synthesize cholesterol at night time. So all the nutrition, instead of it go back to provide energy for our body to work, but at night time we don't work, so the energy can do nothing. So some of them we go directly to the cholesterol synthesis. The other one, they go to synthesize the glycogen at the storage for glucose, carbohydrate. And then we go at that time, working hour over. The same like when the working hour over, we don't want to work extra too much, right? We don't want to work overtime every day. So instead of they synthesize the glycogen, they have to bring back to the liver or to the muscle where we use for activity a lot. But now, because no more time for working and the body already tired, so where it leaves, after it absorbed, we synthesize and leave it there. I don't have the time, I don't have no strength, okay, to bring to solid, so leave it there. So you see, they have a big belly, big butt stock, and big thigh. And also the cholesterol is be synthesized at night time. So most of the energy be bring to the the plant to synthesize the cholesterol. That's why people have a big dinner at night, at late, okay, the energy become the cholesterol. It gets the blood pressure become stiffer, harder. And another problem, because when we have a big dinner like that, we cannot go to bed early, right? Because the belly is still full, and then that is the time for the cleansing of our immune system. We will learn later on. And then the cycle is just going that if we cannot go to bed early, we go to bed late, go to bed late, we wake up late, and wake up late, okay, it whole cycle, it connect to each other, and then we're going downhill and downhill and downhill. No? So very important to switch or to cut the bad cycle to return to the correct, appropriate the proportion of the meal during the day, and we will see the benefit right away, especially for who already have overweight, who have a cardiovascular disease, who have insomnia, cannot go to sleep, who have a high cholesterol, etc. And this information to show you that we usually have an advertisement or the doctor advised to drink a lot of cow milk for calcium, right? And we don't know that the milk is the bad product, create a lot of problem for humanity from after the World War II. After 20 to 30 years, it starts to come out the bad, the negative side effect. But we cannot correct it now because the people be brainwashed and get used to that. When you compare here, you will see they claim for milk to have a higher calcium level. But actually, milk here, it have only 119. We round up about 120. It's very low compared to black bean, quinoa, sunflower seed, turnip green. That means the top of the turnip, the one the white color you show me, and the pork meat, the one we usually have for the good smell, almond, nori, and especially the seaweed. You see, the one I usually recommend and very easy to cook, very easy to eat. It have 1,000, 100, almost about 10 times of milk. And it not only have a calcium, it have all kind of nutrition, the mineral and the trace element in there. We will learn about that later on when we do the research on the common vegetable and common food we can afford and use it on a daily basis. We don't need much, only about 10 or 15 of them, enough to rotate for every week or every 2 weeks.
What is spirulina?
Which one?
Spirulina. It's near to yogurt and milk. Spirulina.
Oh, this one is kind of the seaweed, but the tiny one. It looks like the crab. Outside, yeah, the tiny one under the sea. Yes.
Excuse me, you said we only need 10 to 14 things a week or a fortnight?
No, I mean we don't need to have a whole bunch different of the vegetable or the fruit. We just need to use about 14 or 15 common ones. But if we know how to combine, we have everything. We have a mineral, trace element, vitamin, and we can use that and the sort for treatment whatever imbalance in our body.
Thank you.
Here is a few things we need to avoid after big meal. Walking too much, showering, bathing, or this